everybody, and welcome back to the Punisher Hemi YouTube channel. So, I'm sure you've seen on the last video, we made a video about the 5 things I hate about my Dodge Charger. Well, today we're going to turn that around, and we're going to make it the 5 things that I love about my Dodge Charger. So, starting with number 1 is the interior. I love the interior of the car. For a 2011 car, it actually feels, pretty updated. All the dash and everything, it's all like a soft touch rubbery kind of thing. It's got the big radio. Heated seats are super nice. It's got the heated and cooled cup holders, which are actually pretty convenient. I never thought I would use those when I first got the car, but I use them all the time. Everything is just super sweet in here. The heat works great. As you can see, I got the tan interior, which is super cool and pretty rare. You don't really see it all the time, especially on a white car. The only thing I can say that I don't like would probably have to be how easy the stuff does get dirty, because I do construction work, and of course I'm gonna get dirty, and stuff gets caked in the soft touch all the time, and so it's kind of a pain to clean because it gets down in those little cracks, and it is kind of hard to get it out after it gets stuck in there. But I'm gonna give you guys a little pan of the front part just so you guys can see. For number 2 is probably the whole design of the car overall. The design of the car is super sweet. It's really aggressive. Especially compared to the first gen, so the 06 to 10s. Those I'm not really much of a fan of myself, and I don't really like the new Chargers either. I think they're too bubbly, and they tried to make the cars look too futuristic, so in my opinion they don't really look the best. So for me, this is the best looking of the three models that has come back out since 2006. And probably if I had to do it again, I would choose this model over all of them. Just all the deep body lines. Number 3 is probably the sound of the car. It has a very aggressive sound. The sound when I first got it stock, it was very quiet, and a lot of times the V6 Chargers that come from the factory were actually louder than this car, which was pretty funny. But once you get an aftermarket exhaust on there, it really opens up the sound, and it's got a very deep rumble to it. Even at an idle, it almost sounds like it's got a cam to it. And it kind of lopes a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. The motor is kind of loud itself. Of course, you got the typical Hemi tick. It is very loud, and if you're sitting outside the car, listening to it, you can hear the engine. It likes to roar pretty loud, and that would probably be my only complaint about the sound of it. Once you get that aftermarket exhaust and you get an intake, it really starts to sound pretty good. But until then, you're gonna have a very quiet and not so much great sounding car. Now for number 4 would probably have to be the louvers. I really do like the way the louvers look. And I was very scared to get them at first, because I was afraid with my tinted back glass that I would not be able to see out of the louvers, and I figured it would just cut off my visibility so much. But it really don't. Once you get used to seeing those lines in your back glass, it's not bad at all. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. But the look that it does give the car from the outside is second to none. It really really puts a good look to the backside of the car. There's not much you can do to the rear ends of the car, considering the taillights are, you can't get anything for them. You have to go with OEM taillights. There's little things you can do. You can get SRT bumpers, diffusers, tips. Other than that, there's really not much you can do to the rear end of these cars, but the louvers really do help to give that aggressive stance to the rear end of the car. And, that's probably one of my favorite things I have done to the car up to this point. Number 5, these are in no specific order, just to get that out of the way, but number 5 would probably have to be my Lighting Trends headlights. I absolutely love these headlights, and I have no bad things to say about Lighting Trends themselves. It's such a great company. Anthony is a great guy. You couldn't ask for a better guy to work with when it comes to working with a company. Lighting Trends has sponsored me, so I get a percentage off of everything that they sell. So I got the headlights for right around $850. So to give that front end something to really stand out from everybody else in the crowd, it's definitely worth it, and I could not be happier with the way these have turned out. I've actually got the add-on harness to where it turns your headlights. If you have the Flow series, it'll turn the headlights into a switchback blinker. So it turns, whatever color you've got it on, it'll turn it amber, and it'll actually do the flowing for the headlight blinker. And it's super sweet. It's something that it probably is my favorite thing I have done to this car. It's so sweet. Everybody, you go to Cars and Coffees, you go to any kind of car shows, and everybody always talks about the headlights. They have to mention the headlights. And so I would say, if you have anything that Lighting Trends makes the headlights for, take the plunge, spend the $1,000, whatever it is for your car, spend that money on it, because you will not be disappointed. And if you ever have any issues with the headlights, you can message them, give them an email, or call them, and they'll get it fixed for you just like immediately. And that's all I have to say about Lighting Trends as a company. But they are a fantastic company, and the headlights are awesome. I really love the Flow series. If I had to do it again, I would get the Flow series again. I would spend the extra money, because they're awesome. Especially you show up to car shows and you turn them on, and you're snapping necks everywhere. They're awesome. But I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys have a great one. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.